Hey, what's going on, y'all? This is Musiq Soulchild, and I'm sure you already know. You know I got soul.
All right, so I want to start with the album, the collaboration album with Syleena Johnson, 9,
Right.
that was released a few months back.
Mm-hmm.
How was the album received by fans?
It was received really well. I think a lot of people were really taken by surprise. I think there was a lot of stuff, going on behind the scenes, and it kind of sort of prolonged the process in releasing it. We had a time that we were going to release it, but we had to change it, and then we had to change it again due to some technical factors. So it's a combination of the element of that, whatever that is. That I guess that would be the con of whatever, but the pro of how people responded to it was the fact that they were like, yo, this is actually dope. I didn't know how this was going to sound, R&B doing reggae. Now that I hear it, yeah, like I get it, like, who would have thought? So ultimately, I personally would say in the responses that I've been exposed to, they all were pretty good.
Yeah.
So that's actually it's very encouraging to know that as long as you do good work, people are going to dig it. It don't really matter what it is.
Right. I think people were not only surprised by the fact it was reggae, but also that you chose Syleena Johnson to do a full album with. Like, how did you guys come together?
It wasn't like I was like, yo, what can I do? It wasn't like that. It was like, the situation presented itself, and it just so happened that she and I were working on the same project. And then when somebody got the bright idea to put us in the studio together, one thing just led to another, and then you got, this project. It was actually that project is a product of me and her just bouncing off of each other,
Right.
And when you put two creative people who love to sing and love music together in the studio, a lot is gonna come out of that. And it was just dope that that process was happening in a time when something like that could actually be entertained
Right.
by both of us. I mean, well, actually not really. We sort of went up above and beyond. I was doing a whole lot. She was doing a whole lot. And we decided, hey, let's give ourselves more work to do.
Right.
So it was very interesting, but I feel like it was supposed to happen.
Right.
If in a way of saying, like, I think that for whatever reason, that was supposed to happen because the recording process was dumb easy.
Yeah.
We literally recorded in about 9 some odd days. But it was the whole everything after it that, was kind of like not so easy.
Right.
So that's why you don't really hear about it that much, because there's a lot about it. But I'm grateful that it came out,
Right.
and I was able to work with a friend of mine. I've known Syleena for a long time, so I was happy that we were able to work together, do something that we both, can look back and be like, oh, that's actually not bad.
Right.
And people can agree with, oh, that's actually pretty cool.
Right.
So, yeah, I feel good about it, but I feel what makes me feel good about it the most is the fact that people dig it.
Right.
Yeah.
This was reggae album. Is that going to be your direction at all going forward, or are you going to go back?
No, that was just something that I was doing.
Right.
At the time, like it could have been jazz, it could have been blues. It just so happened to turn out to be reggae at the moment.
Right.
Speaking about directions, though, I remember last time we talked, and I was kind of hinting at the fact that I'm planning on doing a whole lot as far as expressing myself creatively and blah 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 blah. So in like really soon, well, I actually started with one. I'm doing this project. It's like a personal project. I'm calling it the Personna project. I don't know. I'm just coming up with a name, but where I have all of these alter personas, and all of these alter personas are. I'm associating them with different categories of music, and I'm using them as platforms to express myself in different ways, musically. I started out with one called Purple Wonderlove, or P. Wonderlove. I did a couple shows at Terry Vaughn, the actress. She has a spot out in Atlanta called the Green Room, and she was gracious enough to allow me to sort of experiment a little bit. I'm still working on that persona. I have to like take it off the shelf. I got to work on that one a little bit more. But I got another one that I'm working on. It's actually it's a whole lot of fun. It's so hard to explain it, but it's basically just basically something to turn up to. It's just like going hard,
right?
You know.
So about these personas, people know you for being the soul guy.
Yeah, what people don't understand is Musiq Soulchild is a persona.
Okay.
That's the first persona. I was born with that name.
Yeah.
Musiq Soulchild is a persona, you know what I'm saying? And it just so happened that he's the, R&B love guy, He's sort of like the, the romantic guy, And trust me, I don't mind doing that. I don't mind making music like that. It's fun. It makes you feel good, and it serves a purpose. And I feel like I'm doing, a good I'm doing a good service, to humanity by making music like this. And I'm grateful that I'm able to do so. However, there's other genres of music, there's other categories and forms of music that are out there that I love, and I don't feel that it's reasonable to expect me to just stick to one genre of music, because it's like asking somebody to, it's like giving somebody a coloring book and a box of crayons. Right. Now only use blue. You only use blue.
Right.
And I'm like, but what about red and yellow, and all of these other green and orange and whatever other colors there are. Like, I can use these colors too, And then when you do it, they're like, nah, you just use blue. It's a frustrating thing for a creative person. So I'm just gonna do it, and it's gonna be for whoever it's for. If you don't like it, oh well, it's not for you, But I feel like, there's something out there for everybody, and instead of trying to force people to listen to R&B, not that they don't like it, it's just that's not something that they really listen to.
Right.
I would much rather make music according to what people like to listen to. So, if you like listening to country music, okay, I'm gonna figure out how to make some good country music, and I'm gonna do that. I feel like it's possible. It's like being a chef, there's some people out there who like to just stick to one style of cooking, but then you have other people who just love cooking. They just love the art of finding ingredients and making them taste awesome and making people feel awesome about what they eat, so kind of like the same mentality, when it comes to music. I love making people feel good through music, and there's only but so far I'm gonna get just by sticking to one trick,
Right.